Welcome back. Good news for people because Bhavna, our reporter who was put behind bars, arrested on a flimsy case by the Punjab police, has got relief from the Punjab and Haryana court. Big win for Times Now campaign. Gurpreet Chinna is outside the courtroom and he's speaking to lawyers. Let's start live.
Attributed to her. Besides that, the two other persons, there is no attribution of SC/ST Act. All other offences are bailable. How these two people have been kept in jail, and that's why we have approached the High Court on Saturday to show to the conduct of the Punjab police to say that they have kept all the people in judicial custody for an ulterior motive. So the court, after hearing, and the Advocate General also appeared, he was seeking time. We objected to that the custody at least of a 31-year-old lady, which has been kept till day before, and that is continuing. And not only that, the way they have registered within 1 hour without even verifying the facts, they registered and put her behind the bars. So that concern we've depicted before the court. The Advocate General has made a lot of argument, and the court said that we will hear later on.
Sir, I just want to ask you one question, Mr. Mitra. You were talking about the abuse of power in this case. So can you please little bit elaborate to our viewers also, because that is the need of the hour, to bring a clarity in this case.
What has happened, this petitioner, the Bhavna, was the reporter who was covering the Delhi Sheeshmel expose of the CM Kejriwal. We have placed on record the video where she has gone to the house of CM there, and she was obstructed by the party of the CM, and thereafter she comes to Ludhiana on an invitation in respect of the same CM inaugurating a Mohalla clinic at Ludhiana. On seeing her, we have placed on record a video clip where she was not permitted to go inside. And the story put forth now, putting this FIR, is that she was on the back seat of the vehicle and being driven in one Innova vehicle, and the driver and the cameraman was sitting. And allegedly that vehicle hit two ladies who was going to attend that Mohalla clinic function. And ultimately her mobile was broken, and all those IPC offences which has been attributed is totally bailable, and on the face of it, it is not believable. But the main intention of the police apparently was to indict this press correspondents, and they attributed a line to her that she came out of the car and she spoke the caste of the person who was a bystander in the public. So what we have told the court, a bystander, the reporter belongs to Delhi and Noida. She comes to Ludhiana. There is a public at large. How she will come to know that is a particular caste of a person?
So, Mr. Mittal, we have also seen that court has also observed that the accused and the complainant should be known to each other if such type of offence is going to be made.
This is the law while interpreting SC/ST Act, that first of all they have the knowledge of the caste of the person, and they should know each other, and prima facie you can't indict a person simpliciter by using that caste and attributing SC/ST Act. This is what the court has observed. And reading of FIR shows that there is not an iota of a word that they were known to each other or the other person was aware of the caste.
So what was the final outcome of this hearing which was going on, if you can elaborate?
The court was prima facie agreeing that these cases prima facie is false and these provisions of SC/ST are not attracted, and at least petition number 1, who is a lady, 31 years old, and a senior correspondent of Times Now, she should be granted interim bail. Whatever objection the state is having to the main petition or main case, that will be heard on Monday.
So we have seen that during the hearing, sometime it was also halted. What was the point which you were discussing in the court, and for some time this hearing was halted?
We were saying that she is a lady and she is getting panic attacks. She has been suddenly put to such a jail, and in the evening, and the way they have treated her, the FIR is not given. Then the state said we will confirm that whether there is such situation. They came back and they said medical, we have got it done. There is nothing of that sort. We said medical will not depict, and the way they have attributed the false allegation against her, the same kind of medical they will get it done. And we insisted that at least not the other two, they are men, they can live. At least this lady should be granted bail, being a woman only and a senior correspondent.
And the case will be coming up on Monday?
Monday. It will be heard on Monday with the main petition as well as the interim bail of the other two people.
So, sir, if you can elaborate in Hindi also, because we have a lot of viewership. If you can elaborate about all the proceeding which has happened in the court, आप थोड़ा हिंदी में थोड़ा बता सकें?
आज हम ये पिटीशन एक एफआईआर जो लुधियाना पुलिस ने हमारे टाइम्स नाउ के कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट्स भावना गुप्ता और 2 ड्राइवर और एक कैमरामैन के खिलाफ रजिस्टर की, उसकी क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए हमने आज हाई कोर्ट में अप्रोच किया था। और एफआईआर की कॉपी जो आज हमें कस्टडी के बाद कोर्ट के थ्रू आफ्टरनून में मिली, उसके हमने कंटेंट्स पढ़ के एक क्वेश्चनिंग ऑफ द एफआईआर और बेल एंड इंटरिम बेल का हमने यहाँ पर हाई कोर्ट में आए और हमने ये हाई कोर्ट को कहा कि जो कस्टडी इटसेल्फ है ऑन द बेसिस जो एलिगेशन एफआईआर में है, उसके बेसिस पे कस्टडी फॉर ए सिंगल मिनट इज इलीगल, क्योंकि जो एलिगेशन कंप्लेंट है उसमें कोई भी ऑफेंस SC ST एक्ट का बनता नहीं, और वो जो ऑफेंस एट्रीब्यूट किया हुआ है अगर उसको ट्रू भी मान लो तो उससे कोई एलिगेशन प्रूव नहीं होता, जो रिक्वायरमेंट सेक्शन 3 की है, जो एलिगेशन उनके खिलाफ लगाया गया।
तो कोर्ट ने पूरी हेयरिंग सुनी, बीच में कोर्ट ने ये हेयरिंग रिज्यूम भी की, हॉल्ट भी की, तो थोड़ा उसका भी एक्सप्लेन करिए, क्योंकि पूरे देश में दर्शक देख रहे हैं।
इसमें जो मेन हमारी कंटेंशन ये थी कि दूसरी साइड टाइम मांग रही थी कि हमारे पास टाइम नहीं है, तो आज ना सुन के इसको अर्जन किया जाए। तब हम ये किया कि ये जो पिटीशन नंबर 1 है, वो 31 ईयर्स ओल्ड लेडी है, इसको आप इतनी देर जेल में नहीं रख सकते, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जजमेंट्स हैं कि अगर कस्टडी इलीगल है तो उसको इमीडिएटली रिलीफ देना है। उन्होंने एक वेरीफाई करने के लिए कि व्हाट इज हर मेडिकल सिचुएशन, उसके लिए टाइम लिया था। उसके बाद कोर्ट ने मेरिट पर सुनकर उनकी कंटेंशन नोट कर पिटीशन नंबर 1 को इंटरिम बेल टिल मंडे दे दिए, और
मंडे को दूसरा केस टेकअप किया जाएगा।
मेन बाकी केस दिया और बाकी 2 लोगों के लिए भी इंटरिम बेल दी।
सो बिल्कुल अगर बात करें तो वी हैव सीन दैट ह्यूज रिलीफ टू भावना गुप्ता एंड शी हैज गॉट अ रिलीफ फ्रॉम पंजाब एंड हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट बिकॉज वी हैव सीन द हियरिंग हैज बीन resumed here, and finally after having a large argument for the lot of time has been given to the both the side, and finally interim relief has been given to Bhavna Gupta. She has gone there to Ludhiana to cover this event, and she was being taken up and taken into the police custody by the Punjab police. And finally, this argument had taken place in Punjab and Haryana High Court, where she has got relief, and the case will come up on Monday for the other people who have been arrested by the Punjab police. Now the case will be taken on Mondays. For the time being, this relief has been given to Bhavna, who was covering that event, and she was the senior correspondent of Times Now.
And let's deep dive into this and understand what it means really. And we have Swapnil Kothari and Ashwini Dubey back with us. Gentlemen, thank you once again for your time. You know, we had to take a break because of compulsions, but we are back with both of you. And Gurpreet, will keep coming back to you, so please stay with us. What essentially has happened, viewers, is that Bhavna Gupta has got interim bail, but Mrityunjay, our video journalist, and the driver Parminder will have to spend the night in jail till the time the regular bail hearing comes up in the court. Swapnil?
Pranesh, it's a little bit unfortunate because I think she got the bail because she's a woman, as the lawyer pointed out. And, you know, the rest of the 2 will have to sort of wait till now Monday for the appropriate bail hearing to come through. I believe the reason why the judge granted bail to her because she was not arrested by a woman. So the arrest was blatantly illegal. On that count itself, the judge would have said that she deserves bail. And, you know, it's unfortunate that the remaining 2 will have to wait. But then we'll see on Monday. I believe they will also get their bail because obviously it's the part of the same coverage and part of the same thing as such. So there is no atrocity committed. I mean, look at the, you know, I still find it extremely unbelievable that a section like SC/ST Act was levied. And this cannot be something which must be impromptu. This must be premeditated. That is what we'll have to do. And even accident part where, you know, she was not even in the driving seat. I have never heard of a passenger being at all charged with any of those things, or negligent driving or anything of that sort, or trying to cause injury. So Pranesh, I believe this will be taken to its interim logical conclusion on Monday, where I think all of these, the remaining 2 will also get the bail. And let's hope that this FIR is squashed there and then itself, so that, you know, justice is met and this FIR does not even see the light of the day beyond Monday. Let's hope so for that, because I believe that the judge must have come to some sort of a conclusion that this has been done deliberately with malicious intent, and then thereafter, once you secure a victory, where the FIR has been quashed, then I think you should go for malicious prosecution and try to gather some damages from the AAP party or from the police itself, because whoever at the direction of the police that it was taken, because the police is mainly at fault. Even if there is a political party that insinuates you in any form whatsoever, the police is an independent body. They should utilize their own mind and they should say, sorry, we are here to uphold the law. We are not here to do anything at your whims and dictates. But nevertheless, the malicious prosecution has to be there, and the interim bail, as I repeat, needs to be put up on a website, the bail order, so that people come to know what it is on both the sides. And preferably with translation, if it is in English.
Okay, we'll try and source that copy if it is possible. Gurpreet obviously is on the job already. Yeah. But Ashwini Dubey, if you could quickly put in perspective what the SC/ST Act really, so that our viewers have a sense of what we are talking about.
Look, for SC/ST Act, there has to be some substance that the person accused of that offence has committed anything against the particular community, the communities which are protected under the law. So far as this case is concerned, when she was not knowing who is the complainant, what community she belongs to, what is her caste, then slapping this SC/ST Act itself shows that is a blatant violation of the law. Point one. Point two, if a person is hit by a car, under which law passengers have been booked, that too, not under the Indian Penal Code, that too of the SC/ST Act. This is the point number two, Indian legal system has created a history by booking a person who is sitting behind the seat, and that too in a rash and negligent driving. Point number three, if a draconian SC/ST Act is slapped against anybody, and that too, if the state is not on the basis of the complainant's complaint, the complainant was not knowing what caste the Bhavna belongs to, and if it is between two castes which are from this protected under the law, the SC/ST Act will not be protected. So it shows that it's an offense registered at the behest of the state. The state has misused and abused the provisions of the criminal legal system in order to settle the personal score. Now, I welcome the decision of the Honorable Court. Honorable Court has protected the life and liberty of Bhavana by giving her interim bail, that too in a case where she has been put behind the bar. Of course, she was put behind the bar, and the FIR was registered later on, and the FIR was, if primarily we see the offence was a valuable. Rash and negligent driving is a valuable offence. There is no need to put somebody inside the jail because she did not die. Even if somebody died under the rash and negligent
Ashwini ji, I understand your point, but what is really mind-boggling and is baffling, like Swapnil also said, the rash and negligent driving, that charge applies only to the person who's driving. आप अगर बगल में बैठे हैं, पीछे बैठे हैं, imagine अगर if I am looking at a car, that car bangs into some other car, and because I was looking at the car intently, I am booked by the police.
इसलिए this is a case where the preventive detention which is prohibited under the law, and there has to be some substance. She was booked, that is what. And main cases, law directly supports a woman under section 46 subsection 6, that the women, they have to arrest some women. There are certain guidelines. Without the presence of the women officer, a lady will not be arrested. After the sunset, she will not be arrested. Where are all those powers and where all those the permissions taken from the competent authorities? These all things, of course, will be discussed day after tomorrow in the court. But it is a case. It has been proven that the provisions of the criminal legal system has been misused and abused by the state police.
Swapnil, I know you want to come in and I want to hear from you more on this, but allow us to take a short break. We'll come back to both of you, please.
Sure.
Welcome back. You're with Times Now. I have Swapnil Kothari with me. And Swapnil, we were talking about the interim bail that Bhavna has got, but more importantly, we must talk about the manner in which the Punjab police, on instructions of we don't know who, went about executing these arrests. So you had the driver, you had the video journalist, and you had a correspondent, Bhavna.
Pranesh, it is not rocket science to know as to who must have directed this entire operation. I think you and I are both smart enough to know who it must be and how this has happened. The police are not new or not known on certain instances to act at the behest of the powers that be, and that happens in every state. It has happened in the state of Maharashtra. It happens in the state of Punjab. It will happen tomorrow in Delhi. It will happen tomorrow in, say, Sikkim, wherever. So the point is that this is where the courts come in, and the court has adequately stepped in. My point is that if the petition or the application, as the case may be, is exhaustive enough, illustrating the entire scenario of events in the way Bhavna would like the world to know and all of us to know, then so be it. You can put the petition and the application and, of course, the copy of the order when it comes on your website. But if it is not adequate, if it is made in the form of the way we normally lawyers make it, then I would rather prefer that Bhavna puts up a first-hand elucidation of the entire events that took place from the start itself, so that it comes as a sort of a lesson and also as sort of an information exercise, which will be more important than many of the coverages that Times Network does, so that first-hand what the reporter goes through and what happens, especially when a police hounds them and hounds in a manner which is so brazen and which is so illicit and which is so against the law, because that first-hand account will carry much more weightage and it needs to go viral. Those kind of things need to go viral. It should be put up on the entire social media, all 3-4 handles of Times Network. That is what I believe in, because I want that every single person, whoever has got access to any aspects of social media of Times Network, should know as to what happened to Bhavana Kishore. It is very important, because tomorrow something more sinister could happen to anybody in the Times Network. God bless. It never happens to anybody anywhere in the entire fourth estate, in the entire press, in any channel. ये कभी ना हो. But the point is that ये सारी चीजें होती ही रहेगी जब आप एक्सपोजे करोगे और किसी का महल तोड़ने की कोशिश करोगे, जो महल बेबुनियाद है और जो गलत तरीके से बनाया गया है, जिसकी कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं है, और जब जाके काफी सेंट्रल एजेंसीज भी इसके पीछे पड़ी हुई है. So naturally, अगर आप नेटवर्क की तरफ से कुछ करना कोशिश कर रहे हो, well, you are trying to expose this is bound to boomerang at you in some form or the other. Today it's Bhavna and the two journalists, your video and the reporter, etc. Tomorrow it could be somebody else. So I would suggest, Pranesh, that you people take this very seriously and do go ahead for malicious prosecution once you have the quashing of the FIR order in your hand, that the FIR stands quashed. Until then, you can't go for malicious prosecution, because until then, legally, it is supposed to be pending. We can presume that it is malicious prosecution, but you cannot win anything on the basis of that. But that needs to go. ये will लेके FIR quash करके आप thumbs up करोगे, victory sign करोगे, वो सब ठीक है. But जो ordeal भावना ने face किया कल रात से आज तक, and the 2 days more that these people are going to face, assuming that they get bail on Monday, which I'm sure they will, 99.99% I'm sure that they will. वो ordeal का क्या? What about that? So that is what I want, that people of the country need to know, that this is what is happening in this great democracy, which is in fact a great democracy. But then you will have these instances, especially when you are dealing with 1 billion people, and especially when you are dealing, whenever a channel tries to get under the skin of a political party, or comes out or wants to come out with a major expose, is this what they are going to face?
And the only motivation, Swapnil Kothari, I can tell you and all our viewers, and Swapnil, you are a regular here. You are like a family member. And to our viewer family, the only motivation behind operations like Operation Sheesh Mahal is public interest. Just that, nothing else. There's no malice, viewers. There's no malice. The malice is at plain Punjab. And that malice has been challenged today by the court that has granted interim bail. And let's see how the case unfolds in the days to come. We have a reaction from the BJP. Harish Khurana now joining us. Harish Khurana ji, Bhavna ko interim bail mil rahi hai.
Satyamev Jayate, and a tight slap on the face of Arvind Kejriwal and his whole gang, that they were trying to camouflage everything. But at the end of the day, law wins. And I'm glad that Bhavna is back. And now Arvind Kejriwal has to give a reply that 45 crore has been spent. So we were Times Now, Bharat and Times Now will going to ask the question now more severely. And now they have to answer by any means now.
Thank you, Harishji, for speaking to us. We're taking a short break. Swapnil Kothari continues. We'll be joined by other people on the other side. Stay with Times Now.